So, hello everyone, and welcome back to GraceNicoleMyths, Astrology and Tarot. We have gathered here today for an empowered divine feminine reading. After however many readings that the divine masculine's energy has showed up in the reading, I feel, and I'm sure you feel it with me, that we are just so over that whole energy, right? That we don't feel attached to it anymore. We want to move on from it completely. That, listening to the same sad divine masculine story is just boring. It's not interesting. We don't care. The empowered divine feminine who walked away from their toxic, right, unhealed and toxic divine masculine counterparts, we're not interested in their energy. And so I asked Spirit this morning to guide me to a reading that better suits the empowered divine feminine counterparts that have walked away from such toxic masculinity and no longer feel it as a part of their energy, don't resonate to the masculine as being in their energy, and have quite literally just moved forward, right? That they have elevated out of and away from that energy. And we got the empowered divine feminine reading. So I do hope that you all enjoy this. I am looking super forward to giving the message. I'm glad I recorded the shuffle because these cards are too fucking good to fake. They're fucking awesome. So with that said, divine feminines, enjoy the message. Enjoy being sovereign in your own energy from here out moving forward. I will not be doing any more person 1, person 2 readings. I will not be doing any more divine counterpart twin flame readings. I feel like I'm most definitely just going to stick to the empowered divine feminine. So if you like this message, if you like this setup, if you like this theme, if you like the energy of being sovereign and just your own and not having the fucking masculine in it, well, then stay tuned to the channel because we are going to be doing a lot more of this just for you. All right. I love all of you divine feminines out there. Especially all of you who have been with me for so long through this journey and have dealt with so much, so much with your fucking masculines. I'm really glad to give you these new messages. So enjoy it. And hit the like button, right? If you haven't already, leave me a comment. Let me know how you enjoy the new themed readings, how you like the new spread, the setup, all of that stuff. Let me know in the comments and share it out to your other empowered divine feminines because I'm sure they would love to hear these messages designed just for them. Now you can see the entire spread per the shuffling video, and I am going to have a still shot of the entire spread in the background, but I have photographed each piece of the reading individually, so I will be going through it on a point-by-point basis for you so that you can clearly see the cards and how I'm interpreting them, both as the cards themselves and intuitively what I'm picking up on it, so that it is more clear for you as I go through the spread. So let's get started. Here we go, empowered divine feminines, just for you. Now, I started the reading with the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krans, and we got the Bardo, card number 50, and Eros, card number 71. Okay, and I'm going to read these for you because my question was, what are the dualities of the energy that we are moving through right now? Like, what is the task at hand, right? The energetic task at hand. So we got the Bardo and Eros. So the Bardo is about the liminal, the in-between, and the transition. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us, or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. The Bardo is not to be feared. Take advantage of its energy by recognizing what needs to be resolved. Trust that there is a message for you from the beyond. Who is speaking? Go ahead and listen. For when the veil between this life and the next is thinned, energy is stirred, and this allows for remarkable healing and vision. The Bardo and its light is spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, and truth. When dark, we feel tormented, dislocated, hallucinating, and transient. If you would like to go deeper into the Bardo's energy, you can research the Tibetan Book of the Dead and Lament of the Dead by James Hillman and Sanu Shamdasani. Okay, so the Bardo is essentially this in-between energy that kind of reminds me of Karen, right? The ferryman that takes souls that have passed away into the afterlife. Now, the afterlife, we all have this misconstrued energy of what the afterlife is, being in hell with Hades and blah, blah, blah. However, the afterlife is just simply the next stage of your existence to where you cannot go back to where you came from, right? So the energy of being an unhealed feminine in our own wounds and dealing with our own toxicity, right? The transmutation of that, we can't go back to being what is essentially poisoned once we've spiritually found the antidote for the poison. We can't go back to that poisoned state when we've healed it. So there's this transition energy of moving from one reality, one energetic state of being, and into the next manifestation, right, of the new energy. And this is the transitory energy of the in-between, where there's a lot of reflecting on what was and a lot of visualizing on what will be. Okay, it is this in-between transition. Now, Eros. Eros is love as desire, eroticism, and sensuality. It says, though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so, we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart, and remember, though the way is circuitous, you are always being led towards its center. Plato reminds us that Eros can be experienced as platonic love. It is activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften. The Hindu goddess Lalita, she who plays, can help activate Eros energy. She is also known as Kameshvari, the Empress of Desire. When light, Eros is passion, playfulness, and sexual health. When dark, it is madness, projection, and obsession. If you would like to go deeper into Eros energy, you can look into Love Sonnet 9 by Pablo Neruda and Basket of Figs by Ellen Bass. So if you take Eros with the Bardo being the in-between, the transition, this space where we can reflect on what was and what we want to be, and this energy of love and desire, right? Being able to find what it is that truly makes us feel alive. We are reflecting on the beautiful energies that we have created from within ourselves and have projected out, and what we no longer want to receive, right? And in knowing what we don't want to receive because we've received it, we can then redefine or distinguish what it is we truly do desire. You know, and it reminds me of the movie, like the combination of this energy reminds me of the movie What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, from a place of Robin Williams' character being our now empowered masculine energy, who is seeking out the hurt feminine, his wife in the movie, her character, the masculine of us, seeking out the hurt feminine of us and bringing her out of purgatory and into a heaven space with him, right? So if we look at that kind of energy where our now empowered masculine who has stepped away from what is no longer desired, this transition point is about bringing our hurt feminine into a state of gratitude, into a state of remembrance on what love truly is, what heaven truly is, that we can create such a heavenscape and exist in it, right? That our quote unquote afterlife is a beautiful painted heaven of our own creation. Okay, so this is the challenge that the empowered feminine is being presented with, that we are able to take our empowered energy and transition into what is an old toxic pattern of receiving into a very healthy, very desired space to receive in, right? That we would be able to receive what we truly desire and not what we have already experienced. If you haven't seen that movie, What Dreams May Come, I highly suggest watching it from that perspective, right? Where Robin Williams' character is your masculine energy and his wife is your feminine energy. And the story of these two characters in the movie, as, you know, from a perspective of self, that they are two aspects of yourself, and how that movie ends up in the end, right? That movie from that perspective would absolutely encompass all of what these two cards truly mean with where the empowered divine feminine counterparts are and what they're moving through, right? That movie in and of itself would explain this energy perfectly. Now, as we get into the tops and bottoms of the decks, we have the 5 of discs on top with the 8 of discs on bottom, and the Queen of Cups on top with the Emperor on bottom. And I really do hope you watch this movie, because the 5 of discs really does remind me of the place in which the divine feminine in that movie, his wife, sits in purgatory, this very monochromatic place of ruins, you know what I mean? And it's this reminder that Spirit's giving that you don't actually have to worry, because the duality of this card is worry versus disaster, and it's upright. So we're not in a state of disaster. It's not a disaster where our heart space is. And we really have nothing to worry about. The Eight of Discs is diligence versus negligence, and it is upright. So we are not in a state of neglecting the self. We are due diligence, moving through step by step this healing of our own divine feminine, this rescuing of our own divine feminine, who essentially sacrificed itself to the point of being in this purgatory type landscape. And we don't have anything to worry about. We understand from what we've been through and what we've experienced, just what kind of love we are capable of giving. That Queen of Cups, we now know what power our love is capable of, what kind of giving and nurturing it's capable of. And our divine masculine energy, the Emperor on the bottom, has the white and black horse that is on the Chariot card, is coming for us. All right, our divine masculine is not going to let our heart space sit in such a purgatory, monochromatic, ruined type state. Our actions, right, our masculine aspect, our actions are already due diligence, taking the steps required to release the power of our feminine energy from this place of worry, from this place of loneliness, from this place of isolation, from this place of not knowing if anybody is out there that loves us or will love us to the best of their ability. Our masculine is bringing our feminine energy from that toxic state into a healthier state. And that's the overall energy, right? Tops and bottoms. So feminines. As we get into our energy, right, at the center of the reading, we have the Princess of Cups with the Six of Wands and the Four of Wands. Where we are at is this very dreamy state of victory, right? Where we are picturing our new result, where we are picturing our new potential outcome, right? Where we are daydreaming about and fantasizing about what it is we really want to see in creating our heaven on earth. Our souls are, in fact, in a state of stability with the Four of Wands and joy with the Four of Wands. Like, we have reached an inner union, okay? We have reached an inner union. We are in a state of forgiving the self and holding compassion for the self, which is also indicative with the Princess of Cups. We are at what is beginner's heart. Beginner's heart. We have claimed the victory. We have claimed stability in soul. We have claimed joy for the self by releasing all that was not stable and full of joy, right? What we felt was a lost cause or a losing situation. It was a lose-lose situation. We've released it. And so now we are in this state of forgiveness, and we are daydreaming about what we really want, right? We're daydreaming about what we really desire, right? That Eros type energy. And this is where we're at. The claimed victory, the claimed stability, and the claimed joy. We have claimed our inner union and are forgiving the self for any space of time that we weren't in this energy, right? And we're holding compassion for the self moving forward so that we don't go back to those energies. That's where we are right now. Because if we look at the past that we came from, right, that brought us to where we are, we have the Sun card, where our own energy has these angelic wings, the chakras are lit, we are in our Kundalini rising energy, we have been illuminated versus the narcissist, right? Because the duality of this Sun card is illumination versus narcissism. We have shined out in illumination from what is essentially narcissism. We have shined out of it. The clarifying cards are the Magician, the King of Cups, the World card, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Swords. Whatever energy was manipulating us, this deeply secretive type masculine, right? This manipulative, very emotionally reserved, right? Or emotionally shut off energy that's fixed, right? It's a fixed energy with the world. We cut it off. We were listening to our inner guidance system, right? We were listening to our inner guidance system and claimed self-protection and rest. This Four of Swords has bears inside the den surrounding the figure in what is essentially magic. Okay, we have cut off what was fixed, secretive, and manipulative, and chose rest, right? This is the past event which brought us to this place, right? We illuminated ourselves from this energy that was punishing, that would have deemed us unworthy, right? This narcissistic bullshit. We cut it off, and that's how we got to where we are. So if we look at the energy, right, that is crowning the reading, we have the Queen of Cups, clarified by the Nine of Wands. Now, the duality of this Queen of Cups card is reflective versus deceptive. So we are not consciously deceiving ourselves. We're reflecting, right? We are consciously reflecting. We do understand what kind of power our heart space has. This is being reiterated. And the Nine of Wands, specific in this deck, is not a wounded warrior type energy. It is a very old, wise, and tired emperor who has this halo of a sun, right? If we look, think about antiquity and paintings in antiquity, they always have this halo around the head, which signifies the divine or being of higher consciousness, right? Blessed by the divine. He has this sun as the halo behind his crown. And he's using the one wand to stab into the moon, which is the inspiration to diminish the illusion. The moon is indicative of illusion, right? We are not keeping secrets from the self. We are reflecting on all that has been. We are reflecting within the self and are wise with experience. We're wise. We have learned the story of the dark wolf and the light wolf. What the difference is between acting and feeding from fear state into our manifestation and what acting and feeding from light does for our manifestation. We are aware consciously, right? That's crowning the reading. It's what is on our consciousness. We are consciously reflecting on our ability to love and why we've given it and to whom. Why we've given it to people in our past, what our fears were that we were giving it to certain people that were toxic, and what happened when we cut that energy off and started feeding that love to the self, where we started empowering that light wolf and nourishing the self with the light. We're reflecting on this. We are not wounded, but we are tired. Okay, we are wiser from the experience, and tired of the illusion. He is taking that wand and driving it through the moon. And the moon is indicative of the illusion, the secrets that we keep from the self in the dark night. We've learned a lot in the dark night, and we are no longer unaware or ignorant to who we were and why we manifested what we did or stayed in it for as long as we did. We've stuck a wand in it and are now inspired in our new consciousness, right? Because we do not want to repeat the past ever. We don't want to repeat the past ever. And so where we are consciously is a state of reflection and wisdom, who is no longer willing to buy into the illusion or the fears attached to our previous versions of self. Okay, this is the energy that we are consciously manifesting from. So if that is where we're manifesting from, what we are manifesting, right, the underlying energy or the manifestation that is grounding into the experience that hasn't yet manifested. Okay, this is the underlying desire that is coming up into the manifestation. We have the Lover's card in the upright with the Fool. Now, the duality of the Lover's card, marriage versus divorce, it is in the upright. So we're manifesting marriage. We're manifesting marriage. The marriage is divinely blessed by spirit and is someone that we feel starstruck by, right? With Eros literally on the card, the desire, right? What we wanted to manifest, what our true desire is, Eros is there bringing it in on the card. This is a divine union. This is an emperor and an empress in the reality being blessed by spirit and the high feminine. The masculine energy that we as empowered feminine counterparts are receiving is this Fool. Now, this specific Fool is a healed, right? Look at the star glowing all over this masculine. It is a healed masculine who is willing to take a leap of faith forward on the feminine. There's a spiral, right? This, if you remember the Eros card talking about, constantly being in this circuitous energy that is always bringing us back to center. The masculine has the sacred spiral on his chest and it's lit in the center. We are literally manifesting, whether we realize it now or not, that our current consciousness is grounding in marriage. To someone who is healed, to someone who is meeting us in the center. This is what we're manifesting. And it's in the night, which means we don't see it. It hasn't happened yet. We are truly in this reflective state, this transit state, where our own masculine energy is rescuing our feminine energy. And from that transition, what we have to look forward to ultimately is marriage to a healed masculine counterpart. A healed masculine counterpart that we truly do desire. Like he's standing on the shore with this staff of morning glories and the star, putting the staff in the way of the crocodile who is sitting in the middle of this dark whirlpool, right? This masculine is divinely protecting not just himself, but the feminine from moving into a space that would take them back into manifestations of old. This energy of the Fool is someone who has truly started their journey over. They have been through a lot, just like the feminine, and understand what a healthy relationship, what a healthy marriage looks like, because they've also gone through the visualizing of the crowned energy, right? The reflecting, the redefining what it is that they desire, right? They've gone through the healing. This is a healed masculine. And the way that the moon sits, right? It looks like these very large bull horns, which is indicative of endurance, stamina, and strength. This masculine truly does have the healed energy to endure and make it through whatever it is that life throws at him and the feminine. This is someone who is in it to win it in the long run, for the long term with the feminine. This is a true spouse-worthy energy. And this is what's manifesting. This is what the empowered feminine counterparts have to ultimately look forward to. This is what they're manifesting. So as the near future develops, right, we know where we're at and what we're manifesting, where we're moving immediately into the near future. We have the all, clarified by Temperance. We have the Empress, clarified by the Six of Cups. And we have the Ten of Cups, clarified by the Ace of Wands and the Sun card. Feminine. I shit you not. The all, okay, is a special holy arcana that is only in the Patch Tarot. It says the all depicts an infinite field of spirit manifesting a never-ending spiral creation of holy temples representing the infinite ways of appreciating and honoring spirit. The planets are aligned along this vortex pillar as well, depicting the celestial chakras as we comprehend them. This card is tethered to Da'at on the Tree of Life, which represents knowledge and the bridge between idea and manifest reality, for it is the only true measure of how we can come to know and understand God. When drawn in a reading, the all describes that, in essence, anything can happen. There are an infinite number of possibilities and pathways to explore, and though while we as humans may be limited, our souls and the spirit they emerge from are eternal and limitless. Thus, this card represents an opportunity to compassionately embrace a lesson we are learning and to let go and let flow. Temperance is alchemization. We are in a space where our ideas, right, near future, we are moving into a space where our ideas are, in fact, bridging between idea and reality. We're in that transition. Like, this message is being reiterated. Our energy is lit. The chakras are lit. Our manifestation is happening, right, with this honoring of spirit. Right now, it's just about gratitude. The near future is just about gratitude. This is where it all starts, with the visualization and the gratitude for all that has been. Spirit is literally alchemizing it into manifestation, bringing it forth from our minds into the reality. Because this is how we will understand and get to know the divine, God, source, creator, whatever you want to call it. Our belief in desire and what we deserve, our gratitude for the journey and what has been, and that we have the power to choose which pathway we take. Being in this state of gratitude in the near future continues to evolve. It evolves into the Empress, clarified by the Six of Cups. We receive the sacred soulmate. The Empress is in a meditative state on this card. She has the shield of the crown chakra by her. And this pink swan with little baby swans. Okay, this is flow, grace and flow, indicative of the swans, harmony, indicative of the color pink, right? This grace and flow and harmony that is just manifesting a bunch of little beautiful creations with her. She's meditating and receiving divine protection, right? The crown chakra shield. She's receiving divine protection as all of these harmonious, beautiful little things manifest around her. She's in a state of nurture, self-nurture. And the soulmate comes in. The soulmate comes in on this rainbow unicorn, right? This rainbow unicorn, Pegasus type energy. The Six of Cups, the sacred soulmate comes in. As the near future continues to develop, she reaches the Ten of Cups, which is prosperity versus deprivation, right? The duality of the card. Upright, it's prosperity. There is this Garden of Eden, paradise type island in front of her. with everything she ever really wanted. There's abundance here. There's passion here with the Ace of Wands. There's innocence and purity and light and creative flow with the Sun card here. The Empress is inspired like a little kid. Like, legit. Her inner child is so fucking excited, it's not even funny. She's witnessing outright the manifestation of all that she's pictured literally in front of her. She's witnessing it right in front of her eyes. This is not something that she's grounding into the experience anymore or can't see anymore. She could see it. Paradise opens up right before her eyes. It's almost like this gratitude state, right, that the Empress was in the near, or is in the near future, right? This gratitude state that she's in. She's in a state of stillness with the Empress. This feeling blessed energy, this divinely protected energy. And the soulmate shows up and all of a sudden she can fucking see. It's like she opened her eyes because the Empress, her eyes are closed on the card. It's like she opens her eyes and all of a sudden the manifestation is literally right in front of her. And she's inspired and literally feeling like a kid again. She's happy. She's happy. This is all near future developing. These steps, these cards, the all with Temperance, the Empress with the Six of Cups, and the Ten of Cups with the Ace of Wands and the Sun card. These are how the steps are going to progress in chronological order, regardless of how long each step takes. That's how they're going to progress. So understand, empowered divine feminines, it starts with gratitude and visualization. The next step is nurturing the self, allowing the self to close their eyes and just let things flow, knowing that they're divinely protected and the universe is giving birth to beautiful little harmonious things that are ready to come towards you. And the final step is just simply opening up your eyes and realizing it's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. Prosperity, the dream, emotional fulfillment, bliss, all that inspires you and makes you feel truly alive again. And it's healthy this time. And it's healthy this time. This is how the near future events develop. Now, this part of the reading, okay, the energies that are kind of bowing on the outskirts, these are the energies surrounding you on the outside, right, in the outer experience, so that you can discern, right, so that you can discern moving forward who these 4 energetic archetypes are. The first one is the 7 of Swords with the Moon. Now, the 7 of Swords, the duality of this card is crisis versus strife, and upright, it is definitely crisis. Okay, on this card, there is a masculine energy who is on the edge of this cliff face up against all of these other people who are up against them. Right? All of these other people against them. There's this blood red moon in the background. And above the masculine figure on the card, there is this transparent, ghost-like looming figure of a feminine. All right? The masculine here is up against a reality that is seemingly against them, that has cornered them to this cliff's edge, which is reminiscent or indicative of the Fool card, right? Because the Fool card, the Fool is always standing on the edge of a cliff and takes a leap of faith walking off the cliff. So whoever this energy is in the outer experience, they feel as if their entire reality is against them. They are in crisis state. They have the energy of the feminine looming over them. and are being pushed to either fight the reality, which they are outnumbered, or take a leap of faith and walk off the cliff's edge, which would essentially lead them to the moon card that's clarifying. It takes them on this very long path through the dark wood and up this winding road through the mountains, right? This is someone who is going to go through the journey of the dark night of the soul. Okay, self-discovery through the dark night. So whoever this is in your reality, this masculine energy, is at war and in crisis mode, and is on their way to a very long journey healing. And you can see on the moon card that dark and light wolf. It's almost as if this masculine is going on the journey to understand the wisdom that the empowered divine feminine's crowning energy was, right? With that 9 of Wands, that wise, old, and tired emperor. It's almost as if they're going on a very long journey that is essentially going to tire them of the illusion, right? With all this moon energy that is going to tire them of the war. So this person has a very long way to go. And it does remind me of that song by Cassie, Long Way to Go. If you want to listen to it, it's great. I love that song. Flashback to like early 2000s, right? But that is the energy of the first person in and around the outer experience, right? So they don't necessarily have to be in your everyday reality. They could be someone who is just kind of invading your energy space via social media, whatever. But someone whom your energy is definitely looming over, right? The memory of you is definitely looming over them, and they are about to go through what was the 9 of Wands energy in the Star Tarot. Okay. They're going on a dark night journey in order to gain wisdom and experience. As we get into the second energy, we have the 8 of Wands clarified by the 2 of Swords. Now, the 8 of Wands is sometimes known as Cupid's arrows card. However, because the 2 of Swords is here, it's being blocked. So this second archetypal energy, right? The second person either is completely struck by you and your presence, and you are completely blind to them because you are divinely protected, or you are instantly drawn to them because it is familiar, because the energy, right, that, oh my God, who is this person energy kind of strikes you, but you are being blocked from them, right? That spirit is divinely protecting you and you are being blocked from them, and they're not seeing you, because it would ultimately result in a similar scenario, a similar unfolding of what you've had with the toxic divine masculine that you left behind. So there's probably someone who is in your outer experience or coming into your outer experience that either you or them is going to have this toxic, familiar connection with, that spirit's blocking you from. So either you are not going to see them or recognize them the same way that they're, being attracted to you, like you're not going to be attracted to them the same way, or they're not going to see you. They're not going to give you the time of day. And it's going to instantly remind you of what you walked away from, right? At some point, this is going to be very quick, right? With all this lightning type energy, this is someone who is going to come in and out very quickly. It's just a test, right? It is just a test to see if you can recognize that this person is either not paying you any mind, or that you have someone in your reality who is, trying to get in your reality, but you're just not resonating with them, right? And if you can embrace the fact that you're just not resonating, because it's great that they're interested in you, but it's not resonating. So either way, this person's a test. Can you identify the toxicity and or identify that it's just not resonating? They're not on your vibration, right? Even if they're showing interest. So person number 2, energy number 2, is a test. Okay, it is a test. And you will get through the test regardless, because the 2 of Swords, that is divine protection. Either way, I think that you're going to recognize it relatively quickly. All right, that's the second archetype. as we get into the third energy, we have the Three of Cups with the Eight of Swords. So right off the bat, I feel like this energy is someone who has a lot of presence, who has a lot of joyful energy, who is great to be around. I think their energy is uplifting. But I also feel with the Three of Cups that they are already either committed to or involved with someone else. And they're not making a choice and they don't know what to do, right? The Eight of Swords is indicative of someone who is a coward. And even though they have a lot to offer and probably recognize that you have a lot to offer, this is someone who's not actually going to make a move forward. So person number 3 is getting close to what you desire, but not yet what you desire. All right, this is someone who has a lot to offer, but is ultimately afraid and won't commit to you. Okay, and they would probably continue to juggle you with third parties. So keep that in mind with person number 3. If they're already involved with somebody else, or you have that feeling or sensing that they are, and they're just not taking the steps forward with you, like taking things to the next level, it's probably because they won't. And to be fair, even if they're not committed with someone else or involved with someone else, their heart may still be tied to someone else that they are not over yet, right? They're not over it yet. They haven't healed from it yet. They haven't moved on from it yet. So this person, whoever person number 3 is mentally, emotionally unavailable, no matter how wonderful their energy is to be around. Okay, they are unavailable. That is person number 3. Now, the fourth person is where it gets really interesting and cool, because the Prince of Discs is actually sitting in that meditative state in the fields, which is very similar to the vibration of the Eight of Discs that was on the bottom of the deck, right? We have this masculine energy who is surrounded by butterflies, this transformative symbolism, with the world in their hands. They're holding the world. There's a bull in the background, and the flowers that he's sitting in are the same flowers that the Fool card had. He was wearing a crown of flowers. It's the same flowers that the Fool was wearing as a crown around his head. And it's a completely different deck, right? This is a different deck. The Fool card has the same flowers as a crown around his head as the Prince of Discs is sitting in this card. This is the prince to the princess, right? That the feminine energy was in the current state. This is the prince to the princess. The Prince of Discs is pragmatic, okay? Not obstinate, pragmatic. He's going to move forward with what makes sense to him. He comes out with the 6 of coins and the 9 of cups. This fourth person is willing to give the wish to the feminine. This Prince of Discs is the future emperor, just like the feminine is the princess and the future empress. This fourth person has gone through incredible transformations, has developed the endurance and stamina and strength that the feminine would need to move forward. He is holding the whole world in his hands. And when he sees the feminine, when he witnesses the feminine, it makes sense, right? Pragmatically, to give it to her, to give her the world. That's what person number 4 is. This is someone who is very traditional and does things in a very matter-of-fact, step-by-step manner. You know, as someone who has learned, like the feminine, to look at red flags, the feminine is giving him no red flags. So it does truly make sense for him to move forward with the feminine, because the feminine is his wish fulfillment. No different than he's the feminine's wish fulfillment. And if you do just so happen to watch What Dreams May Come, I shit you not, if you look at the background on this card, I'm literally just noticing, if you look at the background on this card, there's a tree with all of these pink petals / leaves coming from it. They're literally blowing off the tree and wisping through the air. There is a remembrance deep in soul with this Prince of Discs that he is to the divine feminine, the true spouse, the true partner, and that he was always meant to be in heaven with her and vice versa. That their heavenscape is incomplete without each other. This prince, this person number 4, is the ultimate manifestation of the feminine. So be very well aware of the different energies going on. Feminine persons 1, 2, 3, and 4. Who is who? Right? You have someone in complete crisis mode who's got a long way to go. You've got someone who is just a test, a quick in and out test. You've got someone who is unavailable, and your true masculine. And I think it's really beautiful that you've come into this reading as the prince and princess, because that means you're going to grow and develop as the king and queen and the emperor and empress together, that you're going to continue to grow and evolve and build what is essentially your kingdom, your heaven on earth here together. You're going to build it together. Whatever dreams that you have, you're going to share them. And that's what's going to come into fruition. The ultimate manifestation of your true divine counterpart is already happening. You already got the ball rolling. So I hope that this message comes as beautiful divine confirmation for you that you are truly over the past, are very much in the now, and are manifesting a really beautiful, prosperous future with someone that your heart and soul, your life can rely on, and that you're going to be the same for them. The heart and soul that they can rely on. And that's a beautiful, happy ending, which really, this is just the beginning. So until next time, I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Take care.